Hi, welcome to class today. My name is Ellen McKay. Today we are going to be doing a practice for physical empowerment. You can practice on a mat, you can practice in a chair. I'll give you options for wherever you are. So first, let's find a seated position. If you're sitting on a mat and you want to add some extra padding underneath you, like a blanket or a pillow, go for it. Good. Wherever you are, settle in a little bit. Roll the shoulders up and back a couple times. Maybe move the head around a little side to side. Just taking a moment as you come into your physical body here. Eyes can even close if you choose. Nice. Let the breath come at a gentle pace. And when I think of physical empowerment, I want to encourage you to think about finding that strength that already lives inside of you. So this is not a class about fixing or changing the body in any kind of way. This is a class really about noticing exactly where you are and finding your strength there. Not only your physical strength, but also that internal strength. So let's start with a little bit of breath work, just to remind us that that strength comes from within. Take a gentle inhale, whatever feels good for you. And exhale. Let's just take a few natural breaths. So whatever rhythm feels good for you, go ahead and follow that. And instead of turning our focus to the inhale, which we tend to do sometimes, I'd like to turn the focus to the exhale instead. So as you exhale, you can make the sounds either out loud or in your mind. Shh and grrr. So when you make those sounds, maybe first out loud and then you can do it in your mind, but you may notice when you make those sounds, it engages your abdominal muscles in certain ways. So that shh is a bit more of that low belly, and that grr is a bit more of the upper belly. And we're going to repeat that a few more times. So inhale, your fullest inhale, whatever feels good, and exhale that same way, that shh, grr. And when you're ready to breathe in, breathe in. And we'll repeat that about 5 more times. So your pace, your timing. Nice. If the eyes are closed, slowly blinking the eyes back open, and we'll just come back to a rhythm of breath that feels really nice for you. Good. Let's just start rolling the shoulders up and back. Get a little more movement here. Legs can always move and change to whatever feels good for you. Good. Let's take those arms up. You can take them over the head if that feels okay. Maybe a little side stretch. Good. Float those fingertips back down. Let's lift the chest a little bit. Nice. Take the hands to the legs, round the spine, chin can tuck to the chest. Come back up. Inhale again, hands can lift. If you want, we're going to twist to the right. Good. Bring those fingertips back to center and twist to the left. Nice job. Just unwind and find your way back to center. Great. Let's come back to those cat and cow movements. So everything's going to look the same whether you're in a chair or on your mat. I'm just going to turn sideways so you can see a little bit better here. Let's inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, round the spine. Good. Let's move through that a few more times. Nice. As I was recovering from my surgery and going through treatment, my body definitely was not at my typical strength level. Good. One more time. And exhale, round. Nice. Bring it back to center. Let's take some stretches here for the neck. So bring the chin to the chest and slowly start to move the head side to side. So as I went through my treatment and recovered from my surgery, I really had to find a way to connect to my strength without relying on my physical strength. Good. Couple more times side to side. Nice. Bring the head back to center. All the way up. Good. Roll those shoulders up and back again. We'll take a forward fold. Hands walk forward. Either rest your belly near your thighs if you're seated in a chair, or you can walk your fingertips forward on your mat. So because I couldn't really rely on my physical strength to help me feel strong, I had to turn a bit more inward and find that well of strength that I used really to continue through treatment, continue through recovery. So maybe you're in a similar space today. Let's walk those hands back up, come back upright. Nice. If you're in your chair, either bring the hands together in prayer in front of the heart or reach the hands up towards the ceiling and the legs out in front. So just, we're straightening legs, straightening arms. You can change the shape as always. If you're on a mat with me, come into that downward facing dog. Nice. Then everyone's going to come into a forward fold. So if you're on your chair, just fold forward onto the thighs. If you're on your mat, come to a standing forward fold and let the head be heavy. Good. And we'll come upright together. So rise all the way back up, either seated or standing. Hands can lift above the head if you want. Exhale, hands in prayer. Nice. So we're really thinking about finding that inner strength, finding that willpower again, that kind of inner support, that inner structure. So as we move through these different shapes today, I'd really like for you to connect first to that inner strength and then let the body do what it wants to do today. It doesn't have to look like me. It doesn't have to look like you a year ago, 6 months ago, 10 years ago. So let's try to allow our bodies to be exactly where they are today and tap into that inner strength. Good. We're going to start in our chair pose. So if you're seated in a chair already, maybe those arms reach up towards the ceiling. You can even kind of take that weight a little more forward and try to hover off the chair a bit, strengthening the legs a little bit more. If you're standing, we're just going to sit back into our pretend chair and start to turn on these big muscles. Good. If you want, hands can lift up towards the ceiling. Maybe hands are in prayer. Maybe they're by the sides. We've got 3 more breaths here. So find that strength from the inside. Breathe that strength in. Exhale, let go of any doubt about yourself, about your body. Just let all that go and find your own strength. Find that amazing you. Good. One more breath here. Inhale, come back up. Arms come by the sides. Let's find our mountain pose, Tadasana. If you're seated in a chair, bring the feet to connect to the mat or something. So if the feet don't connect to the floor, maybe you've got some books you can use or a pillow, anything that you can to connect the feet to something. Arms can come by the sides. Feel that strength. Good. Feel that tall tree, right? Trees are just kind of there through all kinds of change. They change themselves. They lose all their leaves. They kind of hibernate. They come back time and time and time again. Good. Same thing with mountains, right? Mountains are there almost always. They change, but they stay strong. They stay steady. Good. Let's find that tree shape. So if you're standing, you can always use something, wall or chair for balance. If you're seated in your chair, just take that left knee out to the side. Good. If you're standing, maybe foot comes to calf, maybe up to the inner thigh. So let's find our nice strong tree. Any shape for those arms is great. Good. Several breaths here. Nice. Release that side. Let's find the tree on the other side. Right knee turns out if you're seated in a chair. Arms can be wherever you want them to be. If you're standing, you can take the leg up higher. One side might need something a little bit different, so just find your way and breathe. Very nice. Good. And release that side. Nice. Take a moment, shake everything out. Good. If you're standing, you're going to take your feet wide. Same thing if you're seated on your chair. Take the knees a little bit wider, and we're going to start to fold forward. So if you're seated in your chair, hands or forearms can come to the thighs. If you're standing on your mat, maybe hands come to thighs, shins, if you've got a block handy, or the floor. So as we come into this forward fold, you might be thinking, how is this building strength, or how am I finding strength here? But forward folds in yoga connect a lot to surrender or vulnerability. And sometimes we think of, or it's thought of in society, that if you're vulnerable, you're weak. But as we all know, choosing to be vulnerable, allowing yourself to be vulnerable, takes a lot of strength. So allow yourself to soften here and breathe for a few more rounds. Staying here as long as you'd like.